This is Egypt, south of the Mediterranean Sea. This is Saudi Arabia, this is Israel, this is Iran, and this is Iraq, and this is Iran. And a lot of things have been found recently just by examining Google Earth, as we are here on Google Earth. For example, recently in 2004 they found an asteroid impact on this site, and a couple of years later they found an asteroid impact around here in Iran. And they've found that there's a whole devastation of asteroid impacts that took place here about 3000 BC, 5,000 years ago. And it could have been the cause of volcanic eruptions and earthquakes and a great turmoil as far as climate change. Who knows, it may have been the fact that the climate here in this area has changed from tropical and wet to and lush to arid, an arid area of what we see here, desert-like. So who knows? Now, this is the area of the pyramid. If we zoom in, you'll see that it's right on the banks of the Nile River. And basically, the city of Cairo has, where are we? Here we are, back here. This is the Giza Plateau. And you can see that the city of Cairo is right at the fences of the archaeological site of the Giza Plateau. Now, we see the three pyramids here, the Great Pyramid of Khufu here, the three pyramids aligned, but there was also a fourth pyramid as per the Danish expedition that took place in the late 1700s. And it was even diagrammed. They used to have their expeditions, used to have their artists with them so that they could make the depiction of what they saw. And the fourth pyramid was just about around here in the diagrams. I had a previous video on this a couple of days back, if you want to see. Now, the Sphinx, and you can see there's a lot of stuff here that still has not been excavated, and not only this area, but all over here as well. There's obviously structures here. Look at this, structures here that even closer to the pyramids, it seemed that I looked at this, for example. Okay, we're going off on a tangent, but it's worth it because you can find a lot of things looking at Google Earth, as the astrogeologists found recently about the asteroid impacts. Look at this. This looks like a mountain to you, right? Okay. Obviously, at one point in time, some people started digging there to try and find something. Now, are those actually recent digs, or are they just something of antiquity that is there? The image is not at all clear, but this is obviously not normal on a mountain. It could be that this is also some kind of an ancient structure lying underneath there. This as well. These outcrops here. Okay, this is tomb of Queen Kantakawes, whatever. And this is the Giza Plateau, and this is the Sphinx. As we remember, the Sphinx was not always dug up like that. When in Napoleon's era, about 1800, early 1800, the Sphinx was covered in sand. The whole body was covered in sand, and only the head was sticking out. Sand. Now, it could have been a flood because of the volcanic eruptions that covered all this area and the Sphinx. And they say that there is a second Sphinx here. We did hear about that a couple of years back, that there should have been a second Sphinx. And who knows? This is a picture of the Sphinx that was up to about 120 years ago, covered up to its neck in sand. The head was sticking out. And this Sphinx at the Giza Plateau is facing east, as we saw on Google Earth. Now, everything in Egyptology is very symmetrical, especially the sphinxes, as we see diagrams of them inside the chambers of the pyramids. They have two sphinxes, identical, and they could be either parallel to each other or different directions of each other. And the archaeologists believe that this one facing east should have another one at least facing west. So there are various mounds still to be unearthed in the Giza Plateau, and they believe that it could be under one of these mounds. And there's a lot of work yet to be done. They've only excavated about 30% of this plateau, from what they say, so there's still a lot to be discovered yet. And it could be that they may discover it very shortly. Now, this is on Sputnik News, today's article. The twin sphinx, a twin sphinx on the Giza Plateau may be hidden in the Egyptian sands. This is the new theory. The proponents of the second sphinx theory note that during some periods of time, this monument was covered in sand, as we saw before, we stated that already, and not seen at all, and that certain artifacts actually depict two sphinxes instead of just the one that we have here that's evident today. Now, while historians ponder on what mysteries might be concealed beneath the ancient Egyptian monument known as the Great Sphinx of Giza, the new conspiracy theory postulates that there may be another sphinx lying beneath the sand on the Giza Plateau, possibly a twin to this one. Exploring this hypothesis, a new video on the channel Ancient Aliens. Famous TV personality and ufologist Giorgio Tsoukalos states that there were long periods of time where the Sphinx that we see today in the Giza Plateau was not seen because it was completely covered in sand. And he wondered aloud, saying, and so the idea would imply that maybe there are other structures that are still underneath the sand. Is it possible that a second Sphinx exists on the Giza Plateau? So this is his theory he's musing with. It was also picked up by Egyptologist Rami Romani, who remarked that everything in ancient Egyptian art is very symmetrical. Otherwise it wouldn't be beautiful. It is symmetrical. There's two of everything. And Robert Soch, Associate Professor of Natural Studies at Boston University, also noted that the column, the stele, which is located between the paws of the Sphinx, shows not one, but two identical sphinxes. So there should be another one, obviously. Earlier this year, historian Matt Simpson suggested there may be a hidden doorway under the Sphinx, which leads to some sort of mysterious cavity hidden underneath the Sphinx itself. Okay, but that's another issue. Okay, you have to dig under there and find out what's there. But there might be a second Sphinx, as we saw in the Google Earth map that we saw in the beginning of the video. There are mounds of things that have yet to be dug up. All right, so here we are at the Giza Plateau, and this is where our Sphinx is. My letters are in Greek because I'm in Greece, and that's why it says Megali Sphinga tis Gizas, the big Sphinx of Giza. And you can see how beautifully east it is, totally east facing. This is north, south, east, west, totally east facing. Unfortunately, the image is not that great, pretty fuzzy. And this is the stele, that's a plaque that's in between the paws that shows the two Sphinx. So if we go west, maybe the same distance, it should be around here. Let's see, mark that off. Unfortunately, they've built so much here that the city is basically, how far is that? Let's see. Okay, let's start it up. Okay. That's about 0.43 miles, okay? And we go over there, from there, 0.43 miles from there. That's 43 is 83. It should be right there. Okay, so let's go. That should be the mound where the symmetrical Sphinx would be. And as you can see, there's a bar of sand there. Not only that, but you can even see some kind of grooves there. Now, hopefully people won't be building there. I don't know what this is here. But there's a road going through there. This here, it seems to be a wall of some kind, but this here, that's a Sphinx here on that part of the pyramid. It should be somewhere around here. Let's go in, see what kind of an elevation we have there. Totally barren, and what's that? Even that looks like it's, I've never been here. I've never been to Cairo. And from what I understand, you have to be quite the adventurer to go there, because it's not like a Western, it's not a comfortable, you know, maybe hot, it may be stuffy. Okay, let's go turn around, see what the elevation's like. That's not going. Going more. Okay, let's turn. It won't turn. Why don't you want to turn? All right, well, doesn't want to turn, doesn't want to do anything. Okay, well, I'll let you do that. It's going to sleep on me. What's this? It's going to sleep on me. Okay, I'm not going to spend any more time on this. I'll let you do that on your own. And once we get this started, I don't know what's happening to my Google. It's not going anywhere. Oh, here we go. Okay. Let's see. We're going around. We'll see what's happening. Come on then. Okay, no, I don't even see the, those are the, I'm just pulling out too much. Let's go in more. Those red things there are the pyramids, I think. But it doesn't show the elevation here. Anyway, there is an elevation. Let's go back out. Let's go around to see where are the pyramids. Are they that far off that we can't see? There they are. You can't really tell the elevation here, but those red things are where they are. Okay. That's the Nile over there. That's the Nile. And it doesn't really show the elevation. Well, there is some kind of an elevation here, as you can see. So, you know, obviously they have to dig it up. They have to dig it up. Strange, but it should be here. And as you can see, there's some kind of a build-up there. Obviously. Must be around here. So yeah, so they have a lot of work to do yet. Interesting. You know, there are digs there that the universities do every summer, and as they do in the Holy Land as well, and you can even volunteer to go if you want to be part of this. It would be fantastic and very exciting and motivational if you have the time to do this, because they always find something. There's so much there. When they dig, they always find something. So yeah, those of you who have time, look it up, and you can volunteer and go, and they'll pay for your room and board, and you could have a fantastic experience helping out with all this. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.